So in this video, we're going to be looking at finding an endpoint. And so in the previous video, we found a midpoint using the midpoint formula. Here, we are going to be using the midpoint formula still, but we're going to be using it in a little bit of a different way. So we know the midpoint formula, that is basically add my x's, x1 plus x2 divided by 2, then y1 plus y2 divided by 2 is equal to my midpoint. But now here, before we had both the endpoints and we're finding the midpoint, now we're actually given our midpoint and we're given one of the endpoints. So that means we're just going to be using this at the front hand. So looking at number 1, it says the midpoint of TU is M24. So I have that my midpoint is 2, 4. And then it says that one endpoint is 1, 1. Find the coordinates of endpoint U. So if I'm inserting what I know into my midpoint formula, I have one of the coordinates. So let's say I have x1, y1. So I know I have 1 plus over 2. And then same thing with y. So 1 plus over 2. But I don't know my other endpoint. And so since I don't know the other endpoint, I'm just going to leave my variables in. So I can have 1 plus x and 1 plus y. So looking at this, I see my first coordinate, 1 plus x over 2, is going to end up equaling 2 because that's my x coordinate of my midpoint. And then 1 plus y over 2 is going to equal to 4. So we can really create two different equations from this. So I have that 1 plus x over 2 is equal to 2, since these need to match up. And then I also have that 1 plus y over 2 is equal to 4. And again, that is because these must match up. And then now I can go ahead and just solve these. So to get rid of this 2, this divide by 2 at the very beginning, I can multiply by 2 since multiplication undoes division. And so that leaves me with just 1 plus x is equal to 2 times 2, which is 4. Subtract 1 from both sides. And I get that my x coordinate of u is going to be 3. And then now I need to do the same thing with my y. So I'm going to multiply by 2 at the very beginning. And so I get 1 plus y is equal to 4 times 2, which is 8. And I'll subtract 1. And I get that y is equal to 7. And so that means that my u coordinate is going to be my x, which is 3, comma my y, which is 7. Okay, let's try another one. So here, the midpoint of VW is -1, -2. So my midpoint, I know, is going to end up being that. One endpoint is W44. So you notice here, I end up getting the second endpoint. That doesn't matter which one you get, you're still going to end up doing the same process. And I want to find the other endpoint. So I'm going to go ahead and plug those in at the very beginning. So my x is going to be first, so I have 4 plus x over 2. And then my y is also 4, so I have 4 plus y over 2. Next, I'm going to go ahead and find my two equations. So I know that 4 plus x over 2 needs to end up equaling -1. So I have 4 plus x divided by 2 is equal to -1. And then I also know that 4 plus y divided by 2 needs to equal to -2. And so I get that equation as well. And then now I need to solve both. So I first need to undo that division by multiplying both sides by 2. So I get 4 plus x is equal to -2. Subtract 4. And I get that my x coordinate is equal to -6. And then now I need to do the same thing with my y. So So I get 4 plus y is equal to -4. So y is equal to -8. And so my answer here is that my endpoint is going to be my x coordinate -6, y coordinate -8.